Greetings, light workers. This is Oya Transformation with your daily Oracle reading for February the 28th, 2022. Happy Monday. February is gone, y'all. It is gone. We are seconds away from spring, waiting for the crocus to come up and the little plantings and seedlings and buds to start popping. We got a little bit of cool weather left, but for the most part, we are moving into spring. Give thanks. I am here today with your teaspoon of good medicine. So, light workers, the cards have been shuffled and divined, and the messages for this Monday are as follows. The first card that fell in this deck is from the deck of the Good Tarot, and it is the sun. It is the sun. The sun. Well, who doesn't like the sun? The sun represents abundance. It represents fruition. It represents a good harvest. The sun shines a light on those things that we either have neglected or those things that we need to give thanks for, because we have been blessed by those things. So, this day, we ask that it is a number 19 that's reduced to a 1. So, it speaks to ego, resourcefulness, it speaks to leadership. So, we're going to ask you that if you recognize all the places where you have been blessed abundantly by the sun, that you share, that you be willing to give to another, because your blessings continue to come as you continue to share them. I know a lot of people believe in lack, and if they share, that they won't have enough for themselves. But guess what? If you believe in a great big spiritual being that has breathed life and breath of abundance into you, then you know that you didn't do this all by yourself anyway. And those of you who are steppers and you know who you are, you know that you have learned after doing it another way that the only way we get to keep these blessings is to give them away. So we give thanks for the sun that reminds us how blessed we are and shines light on the areas in which we need to improve. This is big old Leo energy. So you think of the lion, you shake it off, and you know you are the queen, you are the king, and therefore you have it in overflow to share. The second card in this reading is from the Soul's Journey deck, and it is honesty. And this card, it's not about being blindly honest. It's not about sharing, oversharing with people you don't know, that you don't even know that you can trust, just telling all your little story. It's about recognizing that honesty is always the best policy, but first and foremost, we need to know that we are being completely honest with ourselves. Because a lot of times we may give away information to other folks that they can use to harm us. They can only not harm you when you are complete with a story, when you know that you've done your best, when you have no hidden agendas in telling this story, where you have no shame in the decision that you made, whether it was a good one or a bad one. You are clear with who you are. That is just part of your story. But then still, people judge us, and we need to be real clear with the stories that we tell, because bottom line, a lot of times they're stories about who we used to be. And you may laugh because the journey has brought you so far, and it's okay because you're all right with it. The other thing is, you may set up a person to judge you with your past, and they just weren't worthy of that story. So you've got to think about what we say when we say it. And yes, we expect to be told little white lies, and we expect that we sometimes tell little white lies. And the only reason that I can think where that would be acceptable as if by telling that little white lie, we are making sure that we are not freeing ourselves with the truth. We could free ourselves with the truth, but yet harm another person. And we don't want to do harm. So if it's a little white lie that you told that in essence doesn't make a big difference, however, you are not harming someone else by telling your truth that may also include somebody else's truth, that's not your story to tell, then that would be appropriate. So this takes some discernment. And after being here a minute, recognizing that the sun shines on us all different times in different ways, then we also know that we need to take a Hippocratic oath of our own, that we do no harm with our honesty, and that we spend the majority of the time making sure that we are clear and honest about our motives in telling our stories. Because sometimes we may just overshare because we want to get close to people quickly, or you may overshare because you want them to know that they're not alone. If your motives are clean, if your motives are from a high place, it'll never be harmful. The final card in this 3-card reading is from the Wisdom Tarot deck, and it is the Dreamer. The Dreamer parallels with the Fool from the Rider decks. And if you know the Fool is the 0 card. It is a clean slate. It is the beginning of a new journey. And the Fool, just like the Dreamer, is decked out in some fine little garb, got a little attitude, and what he or she is wearing. You're walking out the door into a new life. You've got the dog with you. That's your knowledge. You've got your little bag with you. That's your experiences. It's not a heavy bag, so you know you're not doing the Erykah Badu thing. You just got a little baby bag with some things that have shown you a little bit more how to move. You recognize that time is there, and it is on your side. You're starting with a new slate. You got red roses around, so you've got some desire still. You're dressed in red. You've got some desire still. The lilies around. You've still got some knowledge, and you are moving forward into this next journey. Grateful that you are honest with yourself and who you are, and yet you have had a chance to shine the light on those areas where you still need to develop. So, with that said, I think we are embarking on a new journey. We're carrying with us our experiences. We're carrying them lightly. It's not, oh, the shit I've been through. We're not doing that. We got a little bag. We've been through a little stuff. We got a little scar here, a little scrape, but the sun is shining on our good stuff. We are grateful. And we're honest about what our limitations are and where our strength comes, where our resources come from. So with that said, namaste. I thank you so much for taking the time out and getting a little dose of this good medicine. And I hope that it gives you something you need to help you on your journey this day. And like I say, bye-bye February. For those leap babies, happy born day anyway. Thank you for listening. Namaste and be well. Happy Monday.